guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm going to take you guys through my normal glute routine. I'm just going to go ahead and get ready really quickly, and we'll also go over supplements that you can take to also assist with your glute growth. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So today I'm going to go ahead and do a leg day workout. I went ahead and built this regimen. If you guys are interested in your own workout regimen dedicated to you and your specific body and muscular imbalances, be sure to check out my website, Dfyned by K. I went ahead and did a video on that, so if you're interested in more info and context on what those include, make sure to go ahead and check out my last video. But yeah, let's go. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the importance of hydration and also more information about supplementation. So obviously, hydrating is good for your overall well-being, but it is also very important when you're trying to perform in the gym. This is why it's essential to go ahead and have adequate hydration levels so that way we can monitor our performance and our endurance, because dehydrating can just lead to reduced strength, endurance, and overall performance in the gym. So we want to make sure our temperatures are regulated, we're not overheating, and this allows us to sustain energy levels so we can better focus on our performance. I'll also go ahead and list here some other beneficial factors of staying hydrated and why we should make sure we're getting those adequate water levels and what we should get per day for our water intake. Now let's go ahead and get into supplements. Right now I'm going to go ahead and take some Collagen Plus and some Creatine. Creatine is basically a combination of our essential amino acids. It is a dietary supplement, and it does help us improve training capacity, strength, power, and also muscle mass. And this is how creatine can help support the glute growth, and collagen is for our joint, skin, hair, and nail, and this lets us know that we are safe to go ahead and go through our workouts, that our joints are going to have the proper nutrients that they need in order to perform. So I like to take a combination of them both together in the morning. If you don't get it out in the morning, I just go ahead and incorporate the creatine in my protein smoothie, and I mix the collagen with my BCAAs. Regardless of however you take it, just make sure you get that into your daily intake, because you do have to take that daily in order for it to start getting into your system and start seeing the notices of change in your body. So I'm just going to head out and go do some cardio outside with Nick. We're going to head over to the park and then come back home and have a protein smoothie before hitting the gym. Just an FYI, when picking out supplements, you want to make sure you check their labels and make sure they are third-party tested. A lot of supplements that are out there on the shelves are not, so just be mindful for the things that you are taking into your body, and also be aware of the nutrition facts. So I just want to take you guys along for my little cardio session, and then I'm going to make that protein shake like I said. I am using Transparent Labs as my supplement for protein as of right now. Protein just helps stimulates muscle protein synthesis, so that way your body can break down the protein and also stimulate the protein muscle acceleration and the resistance, as well as the endurance type of exercises that we're about to go through. So I'm going to go ahead and take you guys through my normal glute routine. I do active and dynamic stretches before I get started, as well as a quick warm-up for 5 to 10 minutes before, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into it. So for the first workout, we are jumping into squat jumps. So we do want to be mindful of the kinetic chain checkpoints, which are our feet, knees, hips, shoulders, and head before we start any type of movement. So we're going to get our placement steady in front of our box and go ahead into those explosive movements. We are going to step down one step at a time so we can regain our stability before we get into the next jump. So for this, I did do 3 sets, and I'll go ahead and list my repetitions here as well. So go ahead and base this off of your body and where you're at, and try to fit this into your regimen. This is just what I did, and you just have to take it at your own pace. Next, I'm going to go ahead and get into some weighted squat jumps. So each time I go ahead and explode in this movement, I am throwing the weights back. So you want to make sure you are doing so that way you're able to keep proper stability and you're not falling forward. And you also want to make sure you're keeping your body alignment and that posture and not compromising it throughout the workout. Now I'm going to go straight into some lunge jumps. I'm going to do these in alternate each leg as I explode upwards, and I'm also swinging my arms back with each movement of this exercise. Make sure your knee is not touching the ground. You want to keep it right above, and you're going to keep this motion consistent throughout and not compromise your posture. I went ahead and listed my sets and my reps here as well, and give you a different angle so you can see from there. Following that, we're going to get into some weighted kettlebell squats. So let's make sure we have our feet hip length apart, and we're going to go ahead and pick up those kettlebells, and we're going to keep that same squat movement like we would do it without the weights. We're not going to compromise our posture, and we're going to keep proper alignment and do these at a slow tempo. When we do go down, we want to make sure when we are coming up, we are contracting those glutes so we can keep them activated. I'm going to go ahead and list my reps here as well for this exercise. This is just a constant motion, and we also want to keep those arms stable to the side of us so that way we're able to have that full balance of the weight that we are applying to our body. Your body will get adapted to the stress as you go, but we want to make sure we are concentrating on those glutes so we can see them grow. So I'm going to go ahead for the next workout and do some single leg RDLs. This I am doing with a 12-pound kettlebell, and we are going to go ahead and jump straight into this. For our exercises, we're going to want to do these in a circuit movement. I tend to do them just because I am in my weight loss phase, but I'm just going to go ahead and get straight into these. When we're performing this exercise, our stable leg, we want to keep that fully contracted at all time, and we are going to slightly bend the knee as we lean forward with the kettlebell so we can get that full contraction and our hamstrings as well as our glutes. So when you're doing this exercise, we are going to alternate legs, and when we are going down, we are hinging forward and powering straight back up. I'm keeping this at a slow tempo so I can have that mind-muscle connection and fully engage the muscles that I am trying to work out during the exercise. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and alternate to the next leg and just continue the same reps. We're not going to rest in between legs. We want to keep them activated and keep pushing forward. For the next movement, we are going to do 4 bridges. These we are not going to do with any type of weights because directly after this, we are going to get into another glute workout. When we are doing the glute bridges, we want to make sure we're on a flat surface. We have our hands planted down, our feet completely planted to the ground as well, and we are going to hinge forward at the hips and thrust with all the strength that you have in those glutes. I know you're probably tired right now after you've gone through these other workouts, but I promise you this glute workout will not let you down. But we want to make sure we are keeping that alignment and our kinetic chain checkpoints, and we are pushing forward with power in our glutes. And I'll go ahead and also list the reps as well as the sets here right above. Lastly, we are going to get into some dumbbell hip thrusts. These have been trending so much with a lot of people online, but these do work wonders on the glutes. So we are going to go ahead and get set up, and we're going to place that dumbbell in our laps, and then we'll go ahead and get our shoulders placed on the bench, and this is where they are going to stay throughout the workout. This weight was a little heavy, but it was just a little heavy to pick up from that angle, but this is probably the perfect weight For the RDL hip thrust, go ahead and bring your weight down if this is too much for you. You can also use the resistance machine as well if you want to have some more support and just, safety in mind. But I'm just going to go ahead so I get my full range of motion with the dumbbell. So like I said, with this, we're going to keep our shoulders on the bench. We are going to go ahead and lower the hips and thrust forward while contracting the glutes. So for this workout, we just want to make sure we're keeping that alignment. We are not breaking our posture, and keep the motion going. I'll go ahead and list my reps above, and now we're going to go into some resistance band deadlifts. These are harder than what they look like. Go ahead and get a resistance that's good enough for you. Place both feet on the resistance band at a nice distance from one another. I went ahead and did hip width distance, and we're going to pull from the edge of the bands, and we're going to hinge at the hips and come down. And when we are going down, we are still keeping our body in that full alignment. And as we progress upward, we're going to contract the glutes. So at all times, anytime we're doing some type of contraction movement, we are going to engage our core and contract at the same time. For these, I'll go ahead and list my reps above, but this is pretty much it for my glute workout. I'm going to go ahead and finish out this set. And if you're interested in more health and wellness tips and tricks, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that like button, because it really does help out the channel and it lets me know what type of content you guys want to see. That's all I have for you guys for today, and thank you for watching Dfyned by K.